Welcome, 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 everyone. My name is Paul Prasuti, and I'll be your host tonight for our Oakland Center's Wednesday night midweek Oasis service. So, welcome. As you'll be able to experience tonight, our Wednesday night Oasis is a place where we come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. Most Wednesday night services build upon the theme of the previous Sunday, sharing in a satsang style, expressing the science of mind principles and practices with the intention that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and interactive. As our year is drawing to a close, we're reminded that our annual theme for 2023 is Living Out Loud. And our monthly theme for December is Living as Wholeness. Last Sunday, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman introduced ideas inspired by the talk title of Embodying Christ Consciousness, a Wholeness Prototype. And tonight, our speaker will continue the exploration of this very same topic. So as we gather tonight, I really want to welcome you, whether you're watching us live or watching us on YouTube, welcome. When Reverend Sunshine started with us, she invited us as a community to come to the center well. To do so, she shared these 6 C's for us to consider and incorporate when we do come to the center. She said, come with a heart of love and tenderness, and she calls that compassion. She also said, I'm ready to exchange openly, communication. Come in friendship and family. We call that camaraderie. Come in harmony and ready to share, which we say is communion. Come in partnership and cooperation or collaboration. And finally, come in spiritual awareness and truth. She calls that consciousness. As we move into the program tonight, these 6 C's are the premise of sharing a wonderful evening with you tonight. Now, if you're new to our community, please visit our homepage, www.oaklandcell.org, and click on the I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page to submit your email address. Once you do, you'll begin receiving the Village News newsletter once a week in your email. It has all the information that is happening at the center in the coming weeks. I have a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. Please mute your own audio microphone during tonight's service. When you mute your audio microphone, it will improve the quality of our recording and it will improve tonight's transmission. Please stay tuned through the end of the service to receive special and important announcements. So it's my great honor to introduce our speaker tonight. It is Teresa Gardiner, and she's going to also be giving us her take on embodying Christ consciousness and wholeness as a wholeness prototype. Now, Teresa is a member of our community. She's also served on the board of directors. She's also served as a practitioner, and now she is a ministerial candidate. As we do with every organized event at the center, we open with prayer. And I understand, Teresa, you'll be doing that this evening for us, correct?
Yes, correct.
I turn it over to you.
All right. All right. Well, if you'd like to close your eyes. Oh, we just gently breathe together. Breathe in this gift of life, the gift of love, what I call the beloved that is right here breathing us. And it is what supports all of life, for all of life is this beloved. Everything, everything. There is no place where God, the beloved, the thing itself, is not. It is the ground of all being, the majesty, the heartbeat, the creativity of life, the inspiration of life. It is whole, and there is nothing missing within it. And it makes everything and calls everything forth from within itself. It does this with ease. It is pure ease. It is the gift of life that is my life, that is our life as we come together this evening to speak, to listen, to let our hearts awaken with the wisdom of wholeness, this journey that we all undertake together. And I call it good because it is good. It is this precious journey of life and of love. I'm so grateful to know that each of us come here with a heart open wide in our community. And I give great thanks for this. I give great thanks for this opportunity, for Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle, and for each of us here, because we make a difference. So this is a blessing, and I see it as such. I claim it as such, for it is. And I let go. Ooh, God is present. I let go. Let God. And so it is. Ashe. Mm. Mm. Well, welcome, welcome. Let me get my screen onto gallery so I'm not just looking at me. Hi, do you want to turn your cameras on? I would love to see you. For those who have a camera available, I don't know who the iPhone 2 is, but if you want to announce who you are, we can know because the regular iPhone is Grady. If you care to announce yourself, and if you don't, that's good too.
That's Grady. Yes, ma'am.
That's what?
iPhone 2 is Grady.
That's
For sure.
Grady? Then who's the other iPhone?
Don't know yet.
It's a mystery. Life is a mystery. So tonight, we're talking about living as wholeness. That's our theme, right? And I was asked to give a talk, and thank you, Reverend Sunshine Michelle, for this opportunity to talk about wholeness. And the talk is also about embodying Christ consciousness with wholeness as a prototype. Now, I wasn't raised a Christian. Um, I don't think along the lines of Christ consciousness. I think of wholeness. I think of love. And so that is where I'll be speaking from tonight, is about from wholeness, because Christ consciousness is about the wholeness of life and accepting and feeling into that place of love. So I do want to say that, Jesus was known as the Christ because he walked from being in the presence of wholeness. And it was his energy. He saw from that place of wholeness. He saw everything as whole, everyone as whole. So he was a wholeness revealer. And I have claimed myself to be a wholeness revealer because it is my intention to lean into wholeness. It has been my prayer for a while now. Now, Paul mentioned that I'm a ministerial candidate. And about 5 months ago, I took my oral panels. It's the last step where they approve me to be a minister, say I am ready. And I was delayed. I was delayed for 6 months, and, I fell really hard. I fell really, really hard. In fact, I had some rage going on, like, "Wow," and from what they said that I wasn't being authentic, and other things. But it's such a gift for me. So that's where I'm coming from tonight, and on January 31st, I do my oral panels again. But this has been such a gift because it has led me to dive into being more authentic, being leaning in and accepting all of me, because wholeness, and Reverend Dr. Sunshine talks about that gap place. I'll kinda dive into wholeness right now, which is it embodies the whole thing. It embodies the place where we think that there is something missing, and there's conditions, and there's climate, and there's tragedies and horror, and there's certainly a lot of that. And as a movement, we are being willing to also look at the realness of those tragedies and not just sit and try to turn away, though we do know there are conditions. They're as real as they need to be. And that's what we're exploring tonight, real as they need to be. So in wholeness, you have those tragedies and conditions, and then you have where we hope to be, we know that there is good, and that we just hold steadfast to this place of hope, knowing that there is it's even I can call it hope, but that's like a little on the light side of it. We know the truth that we will be all come home. I might use the word emancipated. That's in um, our principles, what we believe, that all of us will be emancipated. We will be free. So we've got these two things happening within each of us. And we have, all these conditions, and we have, my goodness, where I want to be. And then there's this place, this gap, and that's where faith and trust sit in this gap. So I've been sitting in the gap, and when I heard that I was delayed, and I was like I said, I was very much in had a lot of rage. But I was told to sit with whatever feelings, and that's what wholeness is to sit with whatever feelings we have, but still know that there is something better here. But we don't always see it when we're in that tragic place of hurt and traumas. Uh, my work, what I've discovered through this time period, is that my ministry is about wholeness and uncovering our hidden wholeness. One of the books that I was led to I'll show it to you. It's called A Hidden Wholeness, and we had it in Ministerial School, The Journey Toward an Undivided Life. And I love the prelude here. Yeah, I love that too, Constance. It, God, the prelude of this book talks about that there was a time when farmers on the Great Plains, at the first sign of a blizzard, would run a rope from the back door out to the barn because they all know people and stories of people that would lose their way. And so they would do this. There'd be a whiteout and they would run this line. So I believe that what we're up to here, and I know for my ministry, is creating, you can call it breadcrumbs, but it's running that line from the back of the barn home to that place, that those places where we feel we are broken, that we can return home, find our way back home into wholeness. Now, as I was licking my wounds from my delay, uh, I got to realize just how much I didn't believe in oneness. There was a place within me that really I had to uncover that because I still believed that things needed fixing, and I didn't see that everything I didn't see the bigger picture of life. Um, so I started reading this book. It's Parker Palmer is the author, and started doing the work that he recommends, the Circle of Trust and the Clearness Committee. And I got to understand and experience that I don't have to fix anybody. I don't need to be fixed. There's nothing broken here. And I still had a belief that that I still had a broken place. I was kind of stuck over on the side there. And so it was really about accepting it all, warts and all. And there was a friend of mine, he's a mentor actually for many years, and he was saying it's not so much that, when you fall, oh, and you've done something wrong, you've hurt someone's feelings, and you like, okay, I've hurt someone's feelings, I can recognize that. But then a lot of times we will go, oh, I'm such a bad person because I hurt someone's feelings. And that's where hell drops in, when we drop into hell. So when I recognize that I am whole, I don't have to go to that, what I call the second bad. I'm a bad person because I hurt someone's feelings. I can sit and I can listen to myself. I can love myself up. I can lean into the beloved as my life and know that I am in the beloved's arms right here, right now, that we are all whole. Mm. So, what it comes down to is accepting all of me and all of us, accepting all of ourselves, all those places where we think we're broken. That's only part of the whole thing. But accepting all of me, welcoming all of me. So I've been leaning into that place of welcoming all of me. And I can't say all parts because that kind of sounds like I'm not one thing. I'm not one whole presence. I'm just welcoming all those tender places of myself, all those absolutely fabulous places of myself. I welcome all of me. So now I can look about and I can welcome all of you, Judith, and all of you, Constance. And this has been a huge game changer for me to really uncover some hidden beliefs that I thought I still needed fixing and somebody else needed to be fixed. The Middle East needs to be fixed, that there's something horrible going on here. And yes, it is horrible. And but that's not the whole story. So it's been an interesting time because I realize that I have been so wrapped up in when I listen to somebody, I'm thinking about how to advise them or trying to give them advice, give them my insight. It's pretty arrogant thinking that I would know for them. But now I can just sit and put my attention, just listen to them. And I frankly, it's kinda left me in this place where I don't quite know what to say a lot of the times. I'm a much quieter person. I've been so wrapped up in giving my advice because I think I know best for you. But there's so much wisdom in each of us, our own wisdom. And that's what I've discovered here. I'm discovering my own wisdom and that everybody has their own. So that's been my journey right now. And I don't really quite recognize myself. And there's been a lot of hard days, a lot of grieving, a lot of not leaving the house, not knowing how to be in life. I'm so used to thinking this other way that it's like, do you remember the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? That story of Narnia growing up? I loved that, and there was this wardrobe, and when I was growing up at my grandparents' house, my grandfather built the house, and in their bedroom, the closet didn't have a back on it, and it went into the next room, and I used to go through that and open that up and go through, and that's how it feels right now. It feels like I've stepped into this new world of wholeness, of accepting all of me so I can accept all of you. And it's an exciting place, and it's filled with wonder. We talk about wonder so much, but it's a new discovery, and I feel like, "Oh, I've just arrived, and oh my goodness, look at all these people here." And and that story I told you about running the rope, it's from the barn to the house, right? That's what people have done for me. They've led me here. They've put little breadcrumbs along the way, and the Spirit has done that for each of us. We find our way in our own time. Our own time. Everybody, I don't know if there's like an alarm clock or what, but it's like it goes off. Now, as I find my way, let me check my time here because okay. As I find my way through this, I started listening to a book from Pema Chodron called Welcoming the Unwelcome. Because I really want to be accepting and welcoming. I think that's really part of wholeness. So she started talking about I was listening to this the other day on Audible, and she said, I can paraphrase, but it's also got my own realizations that tragedies and the hardships of life, and there's so many tragedies going on right now in the world, politics and Middle East, everything, that these are there because we're all going to be free, right? There's no doubt about that. In science of mind, we all believe we're all going to be free from any discord. So, all of these tragedies, I'm thinking, all of these things are tightening and tightening and tightening us. And they bring an urgency to my heart to awaken. And in this awakening, part of walking through that wardrobe into that new place, part of that awakening is a life of service because everything in my life was to fix me and this brokenness. And I'm healed, I'm whole, and I made it through. And now my life is about service. There's that beautiful quote by Rabindranath Rabindranath Tagore, and it says, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. So that's the new place that that I'm finding myself in, this new place where, ooh, I have been paying attention to the individual me, and now it's like I've popped through to this other place, but it's somehow doesn't feel new. It's like, "Oh, this was always right here." So it does feel like it's home, like I have been away and I have come home now. So in this place of wholeness and acceptance and welcoming, I look about and say, "Oh, what is mine to do? What is this urgency that is my heart is feeling for me to do?" Sacred activism is what the centers are talking about now. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. We can try to run from this idea, but we all know that we are one with God. That is our teaching, and that teaching is everywhere. That principle is all through the religions. It's based in love. Maybe love is in all the religions. But we know in our heart of hearts, we're whole, and we will rise into that place and choose our freedom and awaken this great awakening, this great journey that each of us will have in our own time. But I can feel the urgency, can't you? There is an urgency here, and it's tightening. When I started ministry, they said, you will be like a midwife because you're birthing something new. And I thought, okay, I'm birthing my ministry, but really, I'm part of the community of humanity that is birthing something new. And it's like we're being squeezed through a birth canal. And maybe we're being pulled into that vision of what we have been hoping for. And it's getting tight right now. But we know what is ours to do. And it might be just to sit with these feelings right here, right now, and know that we are in the beloved's lap and let ourselves rest there, that is ours to do. And then when it's time, we will know because our attention will go to, ooh, I want to help over there. There's something else that is calling me, another vision to serve in the world. And it's like it's not even a decision. It just will show up for us with our intention and with our awakening. Yes, this is a philosophy, a way of life to choose, but we will all get there. So we leave breadcrumbs for each other. We tie that line so the people that are lost and still finding their way find their way through. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very grateful. And yes, please say a prayer for me on January 31st. You know, it's this or something better, God. So grateful to be right here, knowing I am supported and sustained as we each are. So thank you for listening. I don't have a question for us to ask, but I just, what is alive in you right now? What is coming through for you right now? What questions are arising within you right now? Oh, thank you so much for your time, for your attention, for your love, and for all you are. Thank you.
Oh, Teresa. Perfect.
Mm.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you. Let's show our appreciation, everyone, that on your cameras in the gallery view. Very well done.
Thank you.
You said something that I was going to ask you to expound upon, and it was the quote.
Mm.
Um,
I slept. Is it that one? I slept and dreamt.
try that one. I slept and I dreamt. Maybe
Mm.
it was from a. It sounded like from an Indian name, lady.
Yes, it's Rabindranath Tagore.
Okay. Can you let me have it again? I think that's worthy of revisiting.
I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy.
There we go. Full circle. Wholeness. Gives me chills, makes the only hair on my body rise up. So,
Me too. Oh, you're funny. You're so funny.
you know, gotta
Oh,
take it wherever you can get it, right?
oh, oh.
Wonderful, Teresa. Just wonderful. Someone else want to share their thoughts um,
Mm.
with Teresa and what you got out of her message today?
What are you thinking about?
Yeah, it's a hard time, Teresa. Maybe I'll pose some things to bring out. It. I think I think we all share
Mm.
that it's a hard time for everyone everywhere. That squeezing time that you talked about,
Mhm.
that was brilliant, by the way. Thank you.
Mm.
And something's emerging. Deborah tells me all the time when we meet, um, it must be revealed to be,
It
but you
must be revealed what?
must be revealed to be healed.
Ah.
And we're and and sometimes that's a painful process for it to be healed, like the birthing process. So, but your concept of that, it's squeezing us now, so something new and wonderful will emerge.
Well,
Uh,
it's awakening the heart. The heart is feeling the urgency to awaken
right,
by the tragicness that is going on right now. So it's doing its job. I know this is hard. I'm not saying oh, this is all good out here. I'm not calling the horrors good, but it is causing my awakening to happen. More compassion. I'm awakening to that life of service
brilliant.
in a new dawn.
Brilliant. Thank you. Emerging. Constance had her hand up. Constance.
Uh, yeah, I just kept, when you were talking, Teresa, I just kept thinking, welcome home,
Mhm.
welcome home. I had exactly the same feeling in my heart
Mm,
when Reverend Savannah spoke. I don't know if you
mhm,
saw her talk.
mhm.
And I had, and to me, it's like, and I know that this is really true in my life, that some of the hardest times I've been through have been some of the best times in retrospect, because they're the ones that have allowed me to become something new. And yet we always have a choice, and not everyone makes that choice. And that to me is one of the big mysteries of life, is what is it that allows one person to make the choice to grow out of adversity and another person to shrink. And I'm always very grateful that I do feel like I have a lot of spirit guides, what have you, I don't know what you want to call them, around me, who have helped me make those choices. And I like I've had friends who just seem like everything just misses for them all the time. It just misses, and they don't get to make those choices, or they don't make those choices because nothing really lines up for them. So it's one of those mysteries of life that I just find, and it might be to do with just what we've come here to learn in this particular lifetime. I don't know. But anyway, thank you. It was so
Thank you.
delightful to hear you
Thank
speak
you.
tonight.
It really is an
And I don't know if
interesting.
you remember,
What?
Reverend, I don't know if you heard this, but Reverend Jeff was also held back.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the ministers that are the strongest are the ones who were held back.
Well, it has
Reverend
done
Rafe is
good
another
work
one.
for me. It has been
And
good
Yeah.
work. Hard, but very good
Yeah.
for me.
And you chose to rise to the challenge, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of session work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Practitioners and mentors, and I needed lots of help. I was pretty pissed off. Yeah.
You Strapped onto the rope.
A lot of midwives.
Way.
Yes, this book really helped me. Parker Palmer, who's a Quaker, yeah, that if they said, "Oh, I'm not authentic," I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay, well, I was mad about that, but then I went, okay, well, what if that's true? What else is there?" So really, I had to take a look, and there is something hidden within me, belief systems and ways of being, and take off that mask. There,
Mhm.
that mask that we all wear to feel safe, and and safety is a big deal. Feeling safe and trusting, and I know it needs to start here, but how can I be a safe place for other people? And so seeing them as whole by knowing that about myself, accepting all of me and accepting all of you. And just loving those people up that looks like they take 3 steps back when they have a choice. But I think it's always that spiral going up. It may look like back, but I don't know, is there an alarm clock to the awakening? I don't know, I'm not saying I'm all awakened, but I definitely am a changed person and have walked into a new place, you know, humbled by by so much.
You talked about Parker Palmer's book.
Yeah, this is Parker Palmer's book.
And
Mhm.
A Hidden Wholeness, and you said also it's also the subtitle is Journey to an
Toward an Undivided Life.
that in itself is beautiful. So do you want
Yes.
to talk a little bit more? You said something about the prelude. Isn't this where the book with the prelude, in the prelude it talks
Right. Well, the other part of the title is Welcoming the Soul and Weaving Community in a Wounded World.
Hmm.
So his whole premise is that as a Quaker, they believe that there is an inner teacher in each of us, which is science of mind. We each have that inner teacher, our own wisdom. And so they create safe places so that inner teacher can come out and be discerning and figure things out. I don't need to be told. I need to be asked questions so I can go within myself to listen within. And I just love one of the things he said was, uh, he says, for him, it's that when he talks, he's much more truthful than when he's just thinking.
Hmm.
So, I've been doing some classes. I've been learning about clearness committees and circle of trust, and to learn how to listen, be a better listener. And to be a better listener isn't about fixing somebody or needing to advise them or trying to manipulate them into a certain way. And oh my gosh, that's liberation. if you don't think you need to do that for somebody, oh my gosh, you're free to just listen to them. It's a whole new way of being for me. I mean, it's spaciousness. I don't know quite what to do with myself yet. So, the journey toward an undivided life, because we live in duality, uh, and think we need to do something. I need to choose. You're going choosing is is really at the heart of what we do. I mean, I agree with that very, very much. But it is a journey. I believe that that is, and I probably will agree with me that we're here to awaken. We're whole. We live in the heart and mind of God, of the divine, whatever you want to call that universal source of life. And so the journey is to come home. So it's the journey toward an undivided life. It's that journey toward coming home and letting go of thinking we are separate and broken, and embracing all of us, all, all.
Wow.
And that prelude was about the blizzard. They call it the blizzard of the world, which is that's the barn and the home creating that place. And that's what you're doing here, Paul. That's what we're all doing here for each other. You know, we get lost. We call our friends. We call our practitioners. You know, we talk. You know, we go to the center on Sundays, and and like our lifeline. Remember, okay, I can make it through this dark place. These are dark times. This is the dark time here. There's a little bit of light starting to come in, but there's richness here in this darkness. There's rich stuff. So we don't want to, you know, try to get out of it. We want to deepen into this place. This is a holy place, a holy place. So welcoming all of it. Yeah. Yeah. Allow ourselves to be disturbed without trying to fix it. Just, and it's uncomfortable. I've been so darn uncomfortable. Ah.
But you seem more comfortable now.
It wasn't earlier today. I had a lot of anxiety, let me tell you. Woo, I'm like, okay, well, whew,
And what
I
did
just sat
what
with
did
it.
we do when we were prepping? What did you ask us to do?
Ah,
Do you remember?
peace.
Yeah, you asked us to hold the space,
Oh yeah, yeah,
consciousness for clarity and
yeah,
peace.
yes.
You threw out the
Ah,
lifeline. We
uh,
grabbed onto it.
isn't that the way it goes? You know, we say what we need. We,
It was
we
great.
ask.
Great.
There's
Oh,
Judith.
sorry, Judith. I'm having a conversation. Let me give it up and give it to you. Judith, please unmute yourself and share, honey.
Hi,
Here you are.
wonderful talk.
Good
I
to
loved
see you,
it.
Judith.
Stop,
Good.
stop beginning to end. I loved it. And
Mm.
I love the image. I'm left with that image of the storm coming and the rope, the
Yeah.
safety place, because the word being safe has always been huge for me when I pray for myself and when I pray with and for other people. Um, it's about to have that feeling, no matter what's around, to still have the feeling of being safe. So that's like that's a big
Mm.
bell ringing word for me. And and although in the moment what I'm remembering is when Ram Dass came to speak at church, and he talked about it, and he also had and in his book, we're all just walking each other home.
Yeah.
And I always haven't been clear about that, but I'm getting more clarity. around that. And so I'm so glad you're back here, being one of the people that I'm walking home with. Thank you. And you said so many things, and I'm going to think about them once I get off, because it's just a lot to take in, and many of it rang a bell for me. So I thank you.
Well,
Thank you for
Love you. Love you.
being present. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank
Okay.
you. You're a gift.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Judith. Anybody else have a little something? I have one more question for Teresa. I'd like to squeeze into the next 3 minutes or so. Not a question, but your references were just gorgeous.
Mm.
And welcoming the unwelcome. I wrote that down.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about that. Who wrote it and
But that's Pema Sjogren. Let's see here. My computer just went off. It's Pema Sjogren, welcoming the unwelcome. And she is in the, I don't know how to say this right, Vajrayana, probably not saying the right, Buddhist tradition. And she talks about journey of awakening. We free our hearts and minds. And it's bodhicitta. Bodhi meaning awake, and chitta means heart or mind. So it's all about practicing bodhicitta, which is awakening the heart. And I think I'm into the first chapter right now. I was so taken about that, the heart feeling the urgency to awaken. Because I don't think that we need to, I think life is about, there's nothing wrong here in life. So we are describing what happens. And I think the heart feels that urgency to awaken. And it happens to everyone. We will all achieve this. This is a science of mind principle. This is truly what, Dr. Holmes talked about. And we're all on that path. And so just when somebody does something funny and you think, why did they choose that? You just know we'll all have our own timing of this great awakening. We can have more humor about it. It's one of the things I love about you, Paul. You have a lot of humor. You make people laugh.
yeah, what they say about
Oh.
tragedy and comedy, you're just revealing
Yeah.
what they're thinking. I'm just saying what they're thinking out. I'm saying out loud what they're thinking. But when we do look at ourselves, sometimes I just laugh at myself like, really, Paul?
Well, that welcoming the unwelcome, I mean, we can all feel into that
Yeah,
because all those parts, we say parts, it's not really a part of us. It's, those thoughts and those beliefs that we've said, oh, I can't be like that. I can't even like that part of me. Like welcome it all in. Because really, this is God showing up as me right here. Trust God, have confidence in God. I can have confidence and welcome myself. Am I what? God, I wish I had talked about that. Am I welcoming God into my life? Am I welcoming God as me? Welcoming the unwelcome, taking a look at what am I not being open and welcoming. And I'm really looking at how I hear God, but I'm like, I'm busy. Would you just go away right now? I'm doing my thing. And there's this whole thing that's awakening in me. It's like, oh, let me take a moment. Oh, hi. Oh, God. It's so good to be right here with you. Acknowledge you right here. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Well, let's go. Here we go. And I'm not talking about there's two of us here, but I can talk to it like it's my beloved, it's my friend. So instead of pushing it away, welcome, invite that.
instead of two things, It's one thing because there's two things gathering, so they're coming together
Mm.
as one.
Mm.
You know, that's, you know, I mean,
That's an idea.
in my awareness,
Mm-hmm.
I think as you described this over here and
Mhm.
that over there, if we welcome that unwelcome, we're bringing what appears to be two things.
It's an illusion that it's over there though, you know, there's really only one thing going on here.
Exactly. And that's when it's all gathered as one. So I
Yeah.
like it. I like it, Teresa. You make me think. And that's not a good
Mm.
thing sometimes when I think, but I'm and with that in mind, it brings us
Tiny, tiny.
tiny, Dr. Judith. Go, girl.
Okay, just to remind us that what Dr. Margaret used to say, that people and our own thoughts about ourselves and other people, the goal is they can pass through my mind without harm.
Mm.
Pass through.
Mm.
I think that fits here, and I think that's
Mm.
what I'm aiming at for people that I have judged and for myself that I've judged. So I just thought of Dr. Margaret then, so I just had to say that. Thank you.
Mm.
I'm
Christopher,
done.
Wonderful, wise woman.
exactly.
Thank you.
Christopher coins that as having safe passage.
Safe
that-
passage. That was it. Safe passage
Oh.
through
Yeah.
my mind.
That's
Safe,
the
right?
so-called
You're
thing.
Oh,
Have
I like
faith.
that.
safe
There's
passage.
that safe again, Judith.
Right,
Mhm.
going home.
Mhm.
So it's time for us to get home.
Yeah.
Get the show on the road, as they say. First of all, I can't thank you enough, Teresa, for the conversation. Outstanding and brilliant. A plus from me, if that
Thank you.
matters. But A plus, I loved it. As everybody is giving thumbs up in your audience now, there will be others that hear this later, Teresa, on our YouTube channel, and they will be also so moved. So
Mm.
thank you for that. You've left an indelible impression on us tonight, and I'm so grateful I got to share it with
It's an
you.
honor. Wow. Thank you.
So, as all things move forward, we have announcements. So, Constance, when you're ready, we're gonna get into them. Let everybody know what's coming their way in the next couple of days. And as soon as the PowerPoint comes up, we will get ourselves moving. We will be talking first about this Sunday, December 31st. Reverend Sunshine is speaking. And I'll let you know that her title is A Wholeness Resolution.
Mm.
So the wholeness doesn't end. It continues through this Sunday for our theme.
Yay.
And here we go. And that will be Sunday, December 31st, service at 10 and I'm sorry, meditation at 10 and service at 10:30. Please know we will also be celebrating Kwanzaa and the ritual of the burning bowl at this service. So that means our service, as they have been all month long, will run about 90 minutes as we continue celebrating all of the festivals of light in the month of December. Next Wednesday, January 3rd, Reverend Sally Bartholomew will give us her take on a wholeness resolution. Meditation is at 6:30 and the service is at 7, and that will be in Zoom. Please note, the bookstore is having an end of year clearance and everything is 50% off this
Wow.
Sunday, December 31st. I'm going to go see if that book is in there by Parker Palmer. I have it on my notes here.
Good.
I'm going to go check it out and see if I can score a deal while I'm at it. Also, come meditate, pray, and or walk the labyrinth in sacred contemplation on Tuesdays and Thursdays in our open sanctuary from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is the last week for the holiday giving barrel. Please bring your donations this week. Check the Village News or the events page on our events page for a list of items and organizations that we are collecting for. The barrel is located in the lobby of the Social Hall and Education Building, and there's also a sign above it with those organizations and the list of their needs. Join in the 2024 Community Spiritual Practice by using the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. It starts January 1st for 40 days, and the book is available in our bookstore. The Women's Spiritual Empowerment Group is back and starts a New Year's series on Sunday, January 7th. Please sign up on our events page of our website if you'd like to attend. Learn to Tame Your Inner Critic with Reverend Mitch Austin after service on Sunday, January 7th. Register on the classes page of our website. A love offering is welcome. Come and celebrate with Reverend Sally Bartholomew and Reverend Ikea Param at their ordination on Saturday, January 13th at 10:30 a.m. Please RSVP to Reverend Kathy Sharma. Check the events page of our website for a link for her email. Now, after you've tamed your critic, you can take the big leap with practitioner Judith Roberts as she leads you in studying and incorporating this book into your life. This class is on Zoom and it starts Tuesday, January 16th at 6:30 for 6 weeks. Sign up on the upcoming classes and workshop page on our website. Then finish off January with creating your vision board for 2024 on Saturday, January 20th at 11 a.m. Please register to attend on the events page of our website. Our home office has events you may also want to attend. One is the annual peace meditation on Sunday, December 31st at 4 a.m. California Pacific time. You can find the link to this event on our events page. Also, to find out what else is happening at our home office, please visit their website at csl.org. There's so much happening at our center, events, workshop, classes, and more. And we have wonderful people, and there they are, all of them that help support us to go to these events, to have these events, to plan these events, and to clean up after these events. So please visit our website at oaklandcsl.org and sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Village News. Remember to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. For special updates and content you'll only find by liking and subscribing to Oakland Center. Please like us and subscribe to Oakland Center today. Also, see that picture of Steve, the incoming admin coordinator?
Yay.
Our beloved Constance, who this is her last Wednesday night in an administrative capacity. From here on out, she'll be a guest. So we want to honor her and be grateful for her service and welcome Steve as he comes in to fill some incomparable shoes to be filled. But we know it's going to happen easily and gracefully, just as all of our gifts that come into our center. So let's just take a moment and think about those gifts that we can give and those gifts that we receive at the center. This is the time of receiving and giving gifts to one another.
Yes.
Some of those ways is just to hold our center in high consciousness and surround it in its wholeness of love, knowing that all is well in every aspect. And what can we do to continue to hold it in that space? By donating our time and our treasure and our talent, as we all do now, and as all those that are watching our YouTube. Just take those ideas and hold them close to your heart. giving them and surrounding our center in love as I recite our donation and giving blessing for tonight. Divine love is me, blesses and multiplies this offering. It blesses all that I am and all that I circulate. Thank you, love as me. And if you're interested in donating financially, check out our homepage on the website. Click on that icon that has little hearts up there that say donate. Once you're there, you'll see 5 ways to give via the donate icon. Credit card, by mail, you can use Zelle or you can text, or you can join us on Sunday service and place your offering in the offering basket. There's a lot to be grateful for at the center. Tonight, I want to give big thank you to our speaker, Teresa Gardiner. She wore many hats today, and tonight she did meditation. She did the opening prayer, she did the talk, and now she's going to do the closing prayer in a minute. So thank you so much, Teresa,
Thank
for
you.
doing all that you've done tonight. I also want to thank our ministerial support. Now, Reverend Deb is the long distance winner consecutively coming in from Savannah, Georgia. She is at the center this coming Sunday. So all the Wednesday nighters that are here and the ones that will be watching this, try to drop by and see Rev Deb in person here at the center this Sunday. She's a part of our service. I also want to thank her and Reverend Sally Bartholomew, my partner, on the other nights. On Wednesday night, we share hosting. I want to thank Reverend Aikya Param, who attends regularly and supports Wednesday night service. And of course, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman, that gives us this platform where we can tie a line from the barn to home. So when we lose our way, Teresa, you're going to hear this a lot. All we have to do is hold the line. Just hold the line. Oh, I want to thank our Zoom team tonight. I want to honor our Peter up in Portland, who clearly is having a vacation. So Constance has stepped in Peter's role and has done a wonderful job tonight. I want to thank our Alices, Alice Herndon and Alice Knudsen, I call them Alice Squared, for doing all the background stuff and taking care of business. And I want to thank Constance not only for double dutying tonight, but she's also done administration every Wednesday night, takes care of all the bits and pieces and gets them to me and Sally so we can make this all happen easily and effortlessly. And tonight, Steve Carter, who's taking her place pretty soon, did it tonight. So I want to honor him tonight for taking the big leap, you might say. And he's
Yay.
So with all that, there's so much, Teresa, to be grateful for.
Mhm.
And I can't thank you enough. If I haven't thanked you 30 times, I'll thank you 60. I
Aw.
love tonight, and I was honored to be in your presence.
Mm.
So we're ready to close our evening as we close all of our events with prayer. And I understand you're going to take us home. Is that true?
Yes, I sure am. I have the line tonight.
Yes.
Ah, yes. So we do a short prayer because we are already filled to overflowing with gratitude as we welcome and acknowledge that the beloved is our life, that we allow it in and welcome all of it right here, right now, all the wholeness, that safe place within us. We allow ourselves to be safe, trusting, that we include ourselves in this big blessing of life that we are feeling this evening. I know that each one of us here is on this great journey, that we are on this journey together, and that all of us are coming home to the wholeness that we are is already present. And we are right on time, allowing that urgency to awaken our hearts into a bigger idea of this vision for our life. We let it rip. We let it open. We say yes. We allow and accept all of us so we can accept all of everyone, welcoming the unwelcome. We simply have gratitude this evening as we welcome God into our lives, acknowledging that it is the very source that breathes us. And we sleep well tonight in the beloved's lap, and we are home, and it is good, and it is a blessing, and so it is.
And so it is. Amen.